In this video, we're going to be talking about basic presentation and turn-in backgrounds. Size or dimensions. Okay, so when you first launch Photoshop, it may look something like this, or it may look slightly different depending on how new or how old your Photoshop is. So I'm going to go to Open. Oh, no, sorry. We're not opening this. I'm going to go to Create, and it will open up this window for me. Now here on the top are the presets. So if you have an older version of Photoshop, please look for the word presets in the drop-down menu. For me, I'm going to go and say Film. Then here we can see our current presets. Okay, we have a couple other things. However, I'm going to pick the 1K, or I can hand put in the 4K dimensions here. Okay, but for normal turn-in, a 1K image is fine. For your portfolio turn-in, you want to make sure that you probably pick the 4K version. So let's go ahead and create. This will open up this document, and these blue guidelines will show up. Before we address these blue guidelines, let's go ahead and change the color of our background. So I'm going to be filling it with this gray right here, which is a 50% gray. Now, this can be good for most turn-ins. We might want to go in and darken the background a bit. So if we open up hue and saturation and tone this down a bit, right about right here. This is now safe for most turn-ins. Now, these blue guidelines, now that we can fully see them, they are here to help us either stay away from the edge or stay within a certain distance around the frame of our piece. So we can use this to go in and add a field for our name and email. We can have it bleed to the edge, we can have it only bleed to the frame. That is up to you. I'm going to fill this section with black. Get rid of my selection. And add some text. So if I, oh, 1 second, I put that on the same layer. I don't want that. There we go. Fill that with black. Add my name and email. So name. And before I go any further, I'm going to make sure that it's the font that I want. So I'm going to be picking something that is easy to read and does not clutter up my overall space. So let's see if I can get thickness out of this, which I should. There we go. Still not the most readable font I've seen. That might also be my Photoshop. There we go. Now, one of the other things is, since I'm going to be putting this onto a black square, I'm going to make sure that my text is not black. So let's go ahead and change that real quick. I'm going to go and add more of something more closer to white. And we can go ahead and move that into position. Now I'm moving this into position so that it is in the middle of my black square. Now I'm going to add my email to this as well. So let's go ahead and add email. So it would be email@gmail.com. Okay. Now, does your name and email have to Does your name need to be on the left? Does your email need to be on the right? No, it can be reversed if you'd like. It can also be stacked. However, so if I go ahead and grab my name and stack it, as you can see, this is going to take up more room. So we want to make sure that we don't make our font any bigger than it already is, so it doesn't take up as much room on our screen. Can we stack it? Absolutely. However, I would make sure that if I was stacking my name, that it would be, oh, didn't grab both. There we go. That would be pushed to one side. We can push this closer to the edge if we'd want it. However, please be careful with pushing things to the edge. We don't want to be clipping, so this is the furthest I would want to go. Okay. So for here, I'm going to go ahead and move this back. And move this back over. I'm going to go ahead and hide my guides. Or not. Actually, wait. They changed the hotkey on me. Oh well, I'll leave the guides up. Now what we can do is we can go in and either leave this bar as a solid, or we can go down and fade this into the background. Okay, like I said, you do not have to have your bar end here. You can extend this all the way through. Okay, and this would be fine too. You would want to make sure that your project does not go past the outer blue line and this outer blue line. The same thing too. You want to make sure that your project does not break this outer blue line or that outer blue line. This would make sure that your project is nicely balanced within your frame and that you won't have any clipping, project clipping, because it's going too close to the edge. Okay, that was it for basics for presentation size and guidelines.